Playing to take over. Caught for a touchdown. 17 points, second down and 5 play. Showing off the wheels. Childers dives, touchdown.
Having grown in both membership and stature since beginning play on the gridiron, the Big South Conference and its 7 football members take a well-earned step forward in 2010. As for the first time, the Big South football champion will receive an automatic bid to the FCS playoffs and will compete for a national championship on a regular basis. So with an automatic playoff berth hanging in the balance, we now preview what will surely be the most intense season in Big South football history. Presbyterian College begins its final year of transitioning to the Division I ranks in 2010, and second-year head coach Harold Nichols has plenty of talent returning as part of a foundation being built to contend in the Big South Conference. PC welcomes back 51 letter winners and 17 starters, including junior quarterback Brandon Miley. Miley threw for 1,736 yards and 11 touchdowns while rushing for 2 scores. His main target last season was Patrick McCoy, who returns for his junior season after catching a team-high 47 passes for 615 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Blue Hose have a formidable running duo returning in Lance Bird and Trandon Dendy. Bird rushed for a PC record 274 yards against Charleston Southern and finished with 700 yards as a freshman, while Dendy gained 554 yards on the ground. Talented defensive back Justin Bethel anchors the 8 returning defensive starters for PC. Bethel led the team with 79 stops, broke up 3 passes, and blocked 3 kicks in earning second-team All-Conference honors last season. Linebacker Derek Brown and defensive end Brian Leonardi return after combining for 111 tackles and 12.5 sacks in 2009. The VMI Keydets will have a new look in 2010 as former offensive stalwarts Tim Maypray, Howard Abgesa, and Kyle Hughes have graduated. And with third-year head coach Sparky Woods inserting a new offensive scheme, the Keydets may be the biggest unknown in the Big South this season. What is known is that Cam Jones will contend for the starting job at quarterback this season. Jones was under center last year in the Keydets' 5-point loss at Army, and in that game against the Black Knights, he rushed for 100 yards, including a 68-yard scamper, and threw a touchdown pass. VMI will also count on Mario Scott and Brian Barnson to provide leadership and experience on offense. There are fewer question marks on the defensive side of the ball, as 3 second-team All-Conference selections return in Josh Wine, Emilio Calvin, and Byron Allen. Wine and Demiso Alexander anchor the front line as the duo nearly combined for 100 tackles as the first line of defense. Calvin and A.J. Gross headlined the linebacking corps. Calvin posted 9 tackles for loss and 3 sacks, while Gross was second on the squad with 76 hits. Allen led VMI with 93 tackles in 2009, including 45 solo stops. One of the charter members of the Big South football family in 2002, Gardner-Webb returned some key players in 2010 that have head coach Steve Patton optimistic. While quarterback will need to be addressed with the graduation of All-Big South Stan Doolittle, 2 playmakers are back to lead the offense. Running back Patrick Hall enjoyed a breakout season in 2009 in which he rushed for 599 yards and a league-high 12 touchdowns to earn second-team All-Conference honors. Talented receiver and deep threat James Perry III earned first-team All-Big South accolades last year with 61 receptions for 749 yards as a sophomore. Gardner-Webb's new signal caller will also benefit with the return of offensive linemen Corey O'Daniel and Jamie Dunaway. The Runnin' Bulldogs were first in the Big South in rushing defense last season, and linebackers Marty Patterson and Jeffrey Williams highlight the returnees. Patterson led the Big South with 110 tackles in 2009 and posted 14 tackles for loss. Williams, the 2008 Big South Defensive Player of the Year, is looking to bounce back from an injury-riddled 2009 campaign in which he managed just 7 games. Also back are Jordan Woods and Bryce Nixon, and all-conference cornerback Cedric McGowan returns after redshirting in 2009. Charleston Southern finished third a year ago, and the Bucks won their final 4 games of the season for the second straight year. That momentum makes the Buccaneers a dark horse for the Big South crown in 2010. For the first time since 2006, head coach Jay Mills will have a returning quarterback under center in A.J. Toscano. Toscano was a dual threat for the Bucs as he threw for almost 2,100 yards and 12 touchdowns while rushing for 325 yards and 4 scores. Charleston Southern also welcomes back the explosive Gerald Stevenson, who caught 55 passes for 724 yards and averaged 7 yards a carry on his 52 rushing attempts. He finished his 2009 All-Conference season with nearly 1,500 all-purpose yards. Receiver Kwame Kreku and running back DeMarcus Moon will again enhance the Bucs offense. 5 veteran players will lead the Buccaneer defense in 2010. Joel Walton earned first-team All-Conference honors last season at defensive end. Linebacker Chris Patrick had 10 tackles for loss, including 5 sacks, while Fred Godfrey posted 67 stops. Junior Chris Coosdale was a first-team All-Big South selection at defensive back, as he had 65 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 6 pass breakups. Senior Jock Bazille returns to the secondary following his 50-tackle season last year. The Big South's first ever playoff team as an at-large selection back in 2006, Coastal Carolina has a bevy of stars ready to challenge for the Big South automatic bid in 2010. Head coach David Bennett has a few quarterback possibilities this season, starting with incumbent starter Zach McDowell. Dowell battled through injuries last season to finish with more than 1,600 passing yards and 9 TD strikes. The talented and mobile Jamie Childers also saw time under center last season. He rushed for 3 touchdowns and added 3 scores through the air. Running backs Eric O'Neill and Jeremy Height will be called upon to lead the rushing attack. Coastal Carolina will count on experienced receivers Brandon Whitley and Markel Willis, plus tight end David Duran, to excel in the passing game. A maturing defense that finished second in the Big South last season against the pass may very well push the Chanticleers back to the top of the conference. Returning All-American Josh Norman had a Big South record 8 interceptions last year, and teams with Marcus Lott and Dominique Davenport to form one of the more dangerous secondaries in all of FCS. Linebacker Desmond Stewart led the squad in tackles last season and earned second-team All-Big South honors. Linebackers E.J. Brown and Chris Walls, as well as lineman Quentin Davis, also return on defense for the Chanticleers. In just 2 years of associate membership, the Stony Brook Seawolves have 1 second-place finish and 1 co-championship, and are poised more than ever to claim an outright Big South football title. With 2008 starting quarterback Dane Hoffman out most of the 2009 season with an injury, head coach Chuck Priori called upon Michael Coulter to step in and lead the offense last season. Coulter responded admirably with more than 2,000 passing yards and 15 touchdown passes in 11 games. No matter who is quarterback in 2010, receivers Jordan Gush, Matt Brevy, and Donald Porter will carry the load for Stony Brook, as the trio combined for 77 receptions and 13 touchdown grabs last year. But the main story on offense is Edwin Gowans, who rushed for 890 yards and 9 touchdowns, and will likely see his first action as a starter in 2010. In just 2 seasons, Gowans has rushed for 2,200 yards and 20 touchdowns, while averaging over 7 yards a carry for his career. Stony Brook will need to replace a few key defensive players, most notably 2009 Big South Defensive Player of the Year Tyler Santucci. But the Seawolves do return first-team All-Conference defensive back Aaron West this season, as well as linebacker Stephen Schwicke and defensive back Dominic Reyes. Having won or shared the Big South football crown the past 3 years, the Liberty Flames continue to reload their firepower each season and are again the preseason favorite to win the conference title and automatic berth in 2010. Liberty led the nation in scoring offense last season with 36.4 points per game, and fifth-year head coach Danny Rocco will have reigning Big South Offensive Player of the Year Mike Brown leading the offense this season after splitting time at wide receiver and under center in 2009. Brown earned All-America honors with 60 receptions for 698 yards, as well as 442 yards rushing and 9 scores. He also earned National Player of the Week honors after quarterbacking the Flames to a win over Lafayette. Joining Brown in the backfield will be Sir Chauncey Holloway and Corey Davis, a transfer from UMass. Wide receiver Chris Summers becomes the main deep threat with Brown's move to QB. Leading the charge on defense will be Kawan Lee, Asa Chapman, and Doncell Bolt, among others. Lee was a first-team All-Conference performer last year after grabbing 5 interceptions. Chapman and Bolt each earned second-team All-Big South honors last season. Also back in 2010 was All-American kicker Matt Bevins, who made a Big South record 22 field goals and finished with 107 points scored. It's time to kick off the 2010 season. and begin the quest for the Big South Football Championship. We wish all the teams the best of luck in 2010 and look forward to the weekend of November 20th and 21st when a new Big South Football champion is crowned and its playoff destination announced.